I get it in so many different ways nowadays. Newspaper, internet, TV. There's just so many different ways that I get it now. It's to get the news today is so easy. In fact, I used to get the newspaper delivery, but I stopped subscribing to it because I have a smartphone that gives me information at my fingertips. On the way to work, on the go at work or whatever. By the time I get that newspaper at my front steps, it's already out of date.
I mainly get my news through the evening news and online. I find online very easy to look at, and I can look through what, like the breaking news, but then I could dig into subjects that I'm interested in.
CNN, sometimes the Huffington Post, Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert. The larger organizations like the MSNBCs and the Fox News of the world are each biased in their own way, in a pitifully obvious way, which makes CNN seem like a partial or an impartial observer, though it is not.
Online newspapers, read the daily paper every day.
I get my news out of the newspaper because I can't see the TV. I'm working. I work from 6 to 6, so I don't see the TV. And I'm not going to stay up till 11 o'clock at night to watch it.
A good journalist should be someone who can ask the right questions to get the right information, to get that feedback back to the public.
I expect that a good journalist will give me information that will help me make decisions and have informed opinions.
I expect someone who has the facts available and is willing to confront people who are lying to them to their face and call them out in the public eye.
Honesty, integrity, hard work, not be an idiot.
To always look neat and speak so you can understand it. That's the biggest thing.
It used to be a little bit more, I used to feel like it was a little bit more stereotypical about how stories would come across. For example, when there was reported crime, and depending on which group that you were, that story was coming from, be it, whatever community it was coming from, it would almost seem like it was selective on how they would report that story. And again, to get a little bit more detail about that, for example, if it were something that brought negativity to one group, then they would give a little bit more detail. They would give more pictures, more descriptions, more accurate information. But if it were from another group, they would give less information, less pictures, less accurate information. But I think nowadays, you can get news in so many different forms and fashions that things have gotten a lot better in terms of all the information and all the data that they collect to give it to you.
It used to be like you had the evening news that were very factual. But it's become more and more, and then you had, the journalists like the Star and that type. But it's like those lines are becoming blurred, and the evening news and news in general are becoming very much driven by ratings versus driven by providing me as a citizen information. I think an example of that has been the healthcare reform. You get a lot of information about the whole process and about the infighting and this and that, but very little information about, okay, what is on the Reform Care Bill?
No, if they were, Jon Stewart would be out of a job. That sort of thing wouldn't be able to exist if the media was doing its job and calling people out and not letting these politicians get away with their death panels and things like that.
Mediocre. They mean well, but there aren't resources to do it properly.
Oh yeah, what's wrong with it? I don't see anything wrong with the news. It's fine with me.